You ever have a conversation in your head in a language you're learning and it's incredible? You're witty, smart, profound. Then you open your mouth to actually speak, and what comes out sounds like a toaster falling down a flight of stairs. That gap, that humiliating chasm between the brilliant person in your head and the bumbling idiot at the coffee counter. That's not a vocabulary problem, that's a ghost. And the trick to demolishing that ghost isn't more study. It's learning to kill your authentic self. Just for a little while. It's a move most language learners are too afraid to make, but it's the only one that guarantees you'll sound fluent, confident, and natural. So what is that ghost I mentioned? Here's the hard truth. The problem isn't your memory. The problem is the terrible bodyguard standing at the door of your mouth. That bodyguard is your native identity, your authentic self. In your first language, that identity is a key, perfectly cut for your own culture. But when you try to use that same key on a foreign lock, it jams. The bodyguard panics. It screams, "Abort! You sound like a malfunctioning GPS," and locks everything down. It builds what I call the authenticity cage, a prison where you're trapped in silence just to protect an ego that can't survive in this new world. And look, I know this because I lived in that cage for years. My brilliant strategy was just be me, but in Spanish. Spoiler alert, it was a dumpster fire. I had all the grammar right, but I sounded like a robot giving a weather report. I would tell a joke and just get blank stares. My authentic self was gone. In his place was a silent statue that happened to know a lot of verbs. And underneath all that fear was the even bigger enemy. The brutal daily struggle of just showing up, of staying consistent when nobody was watching. I was trying to translate my personality when I should have been creating a new one. So how do you get out of the cage? How do you get past the bodyguard? You don't fight him, you trick him. And the tool to do it feels like cheating. It's so powerful, it can feel a little dangerous. I call it the vocal costume. Think of it like an actor putting on a role. The costume, the new accent, the new gestures, gives you permission to be brave. When you're playing a character, a mistake isn't a reflection of your intelligence, it's a bad line delivery in a rehearsal. Your bodyguard, your ego, is no longer on trial, so it stands down. And here's the secret that makes this work like magic. Paradoxically, the performance is more authentic than the translation. Trying to jam your old self into a new language will always feel fake. But building a new identity from the ground up, one that belongs in that world, that's genuine. So here's the mission. No more talk. Here's the simple 3-step blueprint to tailor your own vocal costume. It starts today. Step 1, find your double. Your first move is to stop learning a, quote, generic accent. That's for amateurs. You need to find one person to model. An actor, a podcaster, a YouTuber, a singer, anyone whose voice and energy you admire. This person is now your model, your linguistic double. Don't just listen to their words, listen to them like a musician. You are on a mission to steal their music. Step 2, steal their voice. Now you become a thief. You're going to use a powerful technique called shadowing. Put your headphones on, play a 15-second clip of your double speaking, and repeat what they say in real time, like an echo. Here's the key. Turn your thinking brain off. Don't worry about understanding every single word. Your only job is to mimic the sound. The rhythm, the pitch, the melody, the way their voice goes up and down. Do this for just 10 minutes a day. It will feel weird. You will feel silly. Good. That feeling is the ghost of your old limitations leaving your body. You are literally building new muscle memory in your mouth, carving new pathways in your brain that your old bodyguard doesn't know how to patrol. But this entire strategy hinges on one non-negotiable rule. You must show up every single day. The vocal costume only works if you actually put it on. Step 3, copy their moves. This is the step most learners ignore, and it's why they fail to be convincing. Watch your double with the sound off. Communication is over 50% body language, and right now, your body is speaking with a heavy accent. How do they use their hands? Their eyebrows? Do they lean in? Italians won't trust you if your hands are in your pockets. A Japanese speaker conveys respect with a subtle bow. Start mirroring their physicality. You don't want to look like you're trying to land a huge, dramatic, theatrical performance in a coffee shop, but you must match the physical energy of the language. When you adopt the posture of confidence, you will be shocked at how quickly you start to feel it internally. Now, you want a cheat code? A way to put all this on steroids? Go to a YouTube video in your target language that has a lively comment section. Find a comment. Now, as your new character, write a reply. Read the other comments. How do they argue? How do they joke? What slang do they use? Mimic that style. Don't write like you. Write like them. This isn't just practice. It's a real-time rehearsal in the wild. You're testing your new costume in the real world with zero risk. So you have the philosophy, you have the technique, but let's be honest. The real war is fought at 7 a.m. when you don't feel like practicing. That's where the vocal costume strategy falls apart for most people. Not because the theory is wrong, but because consistency is brutal. I became obsessed with this problem. How do you force yourself to do the work day after day? I knew I needed something with real stakes, a system to weaponize my own ego and make showing up non-negotiable. So I built it for myself. I call it Habit Vote. It's not another language app. There are no grammar trees or cartoon owls. It does one thing. It puts your daily practice up for public judgment so you have no choice but to build an unbreakable chain. If that sounds like something you need, you know where to look. Now, you might be thinking, if I do all this, won't I lose myself? That's the most important question, and it's based on the biggest lie we tell ourselves about identity. Let's be brutally clear. This isn't about erasing who you are. You're not tearing down your old house. You're building a new room onto it, an expansion pack for your soul. Your native identity isn't being destroyed. It's just being asked to sit in the passenger seat for a little while so you can learn how to drive this new car. The monolingual person knows one world. The person with multiple vocal costumes knows many. The goal was never to translate your life. The goal is to build a bigger one. Think about it. The person who is afraid to try, who stays small and safe to protect their old self, that is the person being inauthentic. They are denying their own freedom to grow, to change, to become. But the person who puts on the costume, who bravely sounds a little clumsy today so they can be fluent tomorrow, that person is an artist of the self. That person understands the secret. To truly speak a new language, you first have to give yourself permission to be born into it. So I'm giving you that permission. Go on, be a character, be a fake, be a fraud, because the performance is how you finally get to be free.